Hi everybody, I'm Madonna Van Fossen, the Executive Director for the Oxford Downtown Development Authority, and I'm your host today for Daybreak. Usually Joe Young, the village manager, is with me. However, due to the inclement weather we experienced last night and today, he's not able to make it. So, before I start, I just want to let everybody know if you're interested for the latest school closing, like for example, as Oxford School is going to be closed today, you can get on the school messenger system where you'll be notified right away. You simply need to contact the schools, and their website is oxfordschools.org, and request that you be put on the school messenger system. So as soon as schools are closed, you'll be notified, and I believe there's a couple options. You can be notified by mail, phone, but if you want to get that firsthand information about whether or not the schools are going to be open, contact the schools and get on their messenger system. So today I thought, Joe and I have been doing this Daybreak show for a couple weeks now, and we've given you a lot of information about what's going on in the village of Oxford and the DDA district and that type of thing. So I'm going to expand on this a little bit. Hopefully I'll be entertaining as I do give you this information. The Downtown Development Authority here in Oxford was established back in 1985, and most often villages or towns will establish a DDA to help secure funds and finances for a specific area in their town. For example, ours is the downtown. Most often they are a downtown, but ours is particularly downtown. There are very specific borders that are set up for our DDA district, and what happens is our funds come from tax increment financing, often known as TIF financing. And we receive a portion of the taxes from all of the properties located within the boundaries that are established. The boundaries here for the Oxford DDA they begin the south end down at the Marketplace, which is just north of Drainer Road. The Marketplace sits on the east side of M24, that strip mall where Oxford Hardware, H&R Block, Ken's Coney, Sylvan Learning Center, Roosters is there, Anytime Fitness, Zest Studios. So that's the southernmost boundary to the DDA district, and it travels about a mile north on M24 to just beyond the bridge. The Tan Company, which is on the east side of M24 also, is the northernmost business on that side of the street. And it goes across the street. I believe the oral, facial, and surgery is on the west side of M24. Then the businesses up and down that mile stretch of land on both sides of M24 are within the DDA district. On the east side of M24, there are portions of the neighborhood that are also included in the district, but for the most part, it's just the businesses that are lined up and down 24. There are actually about 195 businesses that comprise the DDA district. Don't hold me to the exact figure, but it's about 195, and some people are astounded at that number, but that includes single offices, like if we have attorney offices and or tax accountant or accountants or things like that. So there's not 195 retailers, but there are about 195 businesses located within the DDA district that the DDA serves. One of the reasons a DDA is established is for the economic development of the particular area that is set up by the village or township that established the DDA. In our particular organization, we are made up of a 9-member board, all volunteers. They're members in the community, business owners, property owners, or residents. In this particular DDA, there is one paid position, myself, the executive director, and everybody else is volunteer. We are made up of 4 committees. We happen to follow the Main Street philosophy, so we have 4 committees: the Promotions Committee, the Economic Development Committee, the Design Committee, and the Organization Committee. All of these committees are also made up of volunteers, residents, business owners, employees, property owners. We have probably today a base of anywhere between 50 to 75 volunteers that make up all of our committees, that sit on the board, that help us with everything that we do. The DDAs, other areas that we are responsible for are business attraction, business retention, promotion of the area of the town, the village, for example, the whole design of the town, how it looks. We try to stick with the vision plan. There was a vision plan done, I believe, back in 2006 that It's a great vision for this community. We've already accomplished some of the things. For example, the parking lots that we did within the last couple of years, those were a major part of the vision plan. This proposed streetscape that is now in the process of being fine-tuned and everything is also a part of that vision plan, making the vision plan come to life. We have the Economic Development Committee that works on things like the streetscape or making, helping the whole area as a whole grow and sustain a good economic base. Other things that the board, or the DDA does rather, is through our promotions. You'll notice in the past that we've had several huge events, concerts in the park, Celebrate Oxford, the Scarecrow Festival, Backyards and Burgers, the holiday celebrations, the tree lighting, that sort of thing. With that in mind, all of these events were great and they brought a lot of people to town, but there has been a shift lately because that's a lot of expense for the DDA to incur. And in other communities, these types of events are shared by all the organizations. Now, Joe and I talked about this at one of our last Daybreak sessions, but I'm going to expound upon that a little bit. The DDA events that we would probably handle would be more retail-oriented events. For example, we just partnered with the Lake Orion Downtown Development Association over the holidays, and we had a huge promotion, Stay Close and Shop Local, for our businesses downtown. We did a huge advertising campaign. We gave away free gifts for people who came in and purchased items. And although it wasn't as successful as we expected it to be, we did learn a lot, and we have actually partnered together and are submitting this whole promotion for an award that will be given by the Main Street Oakland County community. A couple other things I want to tell you about with the DDA. We have memberships in a lot of organizations around the county and state organizations and actually national organizations. And sometimes people ask me, why do we belong to those organizations? Basically, it's for the networking and to share best practices. And when we are involved with these organizations, guess what? People around the county, people around the state, people around the county, or the country rather, they know Oxford, Michigan. We currently are members of Automation Alley, which is a huge organization and does a lot of promoting and building in the county and for the state of Michigan. We are a member of the Michigan Municipal League, a member of the Michigan Economic Development Corporation, MEDC. We're members of the Michigan Downtown Association, the National Historic Trust Organization. And being members of all of these organizations is also beneficial because of the resources that we are able to take advantage of by being a member. For example, being a member of the Main Street Oakland County organization, there are so many benefits as far as the resources that we have available. For example, several of our businesses have taken advantage of the design assistance that has been offered for free. They've had building designs, they've had remodeling designs, they've had sign designs, all for free. Free because we are a Main Street community. Whereas if we were not a Main Street community, they would probably have to pay hundreds and thousands of dollars for the amount of work that they got for free. So we're also a member of the Oxford Chamber of Commerce, and it's very important that we continue the communication with all of these organizations, again, because of the networking that's involved, because of the resources we're able to take advantage of by being members, and just sharing of the best practices. We're learning and have learned over the years that communication is so key. So in the last 4 years since I've been the executive director, Joe Young, the village manager, Holly Bills, the executive director for the Chamber of Commerce, Bill Dunn at the township level, and even at the county level through Main Street Oakland County and other organizations. We have absolutely improved the communication between all the entities, the Planning Commission, the Village Council, the DDA. We all are meeting once or twice a year as a group so we can again share best practices. The community leaders here in Oxford meet every 2 weeks from 7 to 9 in the morning on a Friday morning, and we just talk about what's going on in town. How can we help one another and how can we make it better? So on that note, I'm going to take a quick break here and I'll come back and give you some more information. Thanks so much for listening and see you in a few. Welcome back. My name is Madonna Van Fossen, and I'm the director for the Oxford Downtown Development Authority. Thank you so much for coming back and joining me today. I'm just giving a little information about what the Downtown Development Authority is, what it does. I want to continue with talking about one of the newest things that we are doing is we're bringing back the DDA e-newsletter. This is going to come out once a month. Again, it's total volunteers that are helping me put this together. We are going to focus on a retailer a month. We're going to focus on a restaurant a month. We're going to profile some of the people in the community. I'm going to begin with your DDA board members so you'll know who they are. We're going to have articles of interest for people. If you are a student or an adult, whomever, and you want to try your skills at writing an article, or you want to get some community service, or you want to help me out, please contact the office because I have a lot of opportunities for people to do just that, especially in the line of writing articles and things like that. If you have some extra time and you want to become involved with the community, we do have a program through the DDA called Ask Me Why. Ask me why I should get involved. Do you know why you should get involved? Because you can. Because this is your community and we need you. We need your ideas. We need your input. We need everything. The committees that I mentioned earlier, the design committee, they are working on some really fun projects now. They've gone around town and they've established certain areas in town that they feel they could better improve, you know, aesthetically. So they're going to be focusing on that. They're going to be focusing on what can we do. They're going to put some design elements together. They'll present it to the DDA board, and hopefully we'll be able to find the funding to make these things come true. There's so many things, people call it the low-hanging fruit, whether it's painting the trash cans, whether it's getting some extra benches, whether it's putting some flowers in the northwest parking lot that's kind of stark right now. There's a lot of ideas. So if you want to get involved and put your ideas, you know, see if we can get your ideas put in place, contact me. You can join a committee which meets once a month. You can just email me your ideas. I'll pass them along. You can come in and talk to me. I'll meet you for coffee. I'm absolutely all about getting input from everybody in this community because it's not just one way to do things. We need everybody's input. I want to talk about some other great things that this community has here that I don't know if everybody realizes how special Oxford is. I'm pretty sure that they do, but I'm pretty passionate about it because I happen to believe in this community as so many do. There's so many opportunities here. There's so many wonderful things here that go unnoticed because they do. We have the medical facilities that are located here within Oxford and the DDA district. We have McLaren, we have Beaumont Doctors, and we have Crittenden Hospitals. We have 3 major medical facilities right here in our little Oxford, which is huge for Oxford. We have state-of-the-art veterinarian hospitals. We have state-of-the-art dental facilities. These businesses have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars bringing to Oxford and the surrounding areas the best equipment, the best doctors, the best facilities, everything. It's really it's so exciting about what's gone on here in Oxford in the last 4 years. We have a very active Chamber of Commerce. As I stated earlier, the Planning Commission has become very active. They have meetings now, joint meetings with the Township Planning Commission. The village offices, our planners are on staff now and they're here at your disposal. Tuesdays for the first through the, I don't know when it is and we're going to have to edit this part out probably, but anyway, the planners are on staff now. If you have an idea about, you know, some changes you'd like to make to an existing structure or you want to put up a new sign and you're not really sure if it's going to fit in the zoning ordinance, you can come and meet with the planner prior to making any kind of presentation to the Planning Commission. One of the things I want to talk about is the Planning Commission has been reviewing the sign ordinance. There have been a lot of different changes going on with the zoning ordinances because the Planning Commission has been very active in updating these ordinances to make sure that they fit within the times. Because as you know, when they were established several years ago, times have changed, you know, and the direction we're going has changed a little bit, and the Planning Commission is very much on top of making sure that these zoning ordinances are current. So you are welcome to at any time attend the Planning Commission meetings, the DDA board meetings, the DDA committee meetings, any of the village council meetings. And it's really quite interesting because when you go, so many topics are discussed that as a resident or somebody, you may not realize everything that goes on and all the decisions that are made. And all of those boards, the Village Council, the Planning Commission, the ZBA, the DDA board, they actually want to hear from the residents and the people of Oxford. And there are specific times during the meetings where you can give your input and you can have an exchange with the elected officials and the other people who sit on these boards, so your voice can and will be heard. So highly encourage everybody to get involved, even if it's just come attend a meeting. The meeting schedules are posted on the DDA site. They are posted on the village website. They're hung up on the bulletin boards outside of both the village offices and the DDA offices. So it's really important, if you want to get involved and want to know what's going on, that you know your voice will be heard. A couple of things I want to talk about now in regards to Oakland County, and we touched on this a little bit before. Oxford was chosen, and they've been chosen by Oakland County for several pilot programs, which speaks volumes to the interest that we are getting Oxford as a community on a county level. Because again, that it gives us exposure on the state level and the national level and so on. The County of Oakland has been putting together a one-stop ready program. And this is a program where they're streamlining the processes, still sticking to the law because there are certain things that have to be accomplished, and there are processes in place. Sometimes over the years, the processes can be convoluted with so many steps to get a simple thing done. So Oakland County has really been on this push for the last year or so to develop a one-stop ready program. So Oxford was actually one of 5 communities chosen to participate. And what we did was all these 5 communities met a couple different times and went over and shared best practices. We put together all of the best practices. Oakland County has put them all together in it's kind of like a bullet point program. So we're going to have an unveiling, and any city or community that's interested in becoming a certified one-stop ready community has to meet a certain criteria. It doesn't mean that you have to follow every single rule that Oakland County tells you. It's they put together the best practices used in these various 5 communities, and your community will meet the criteria for most of them, and you will be able to become a certified one-stop ready community. So what's that going to mean? That's going to mean if a developer is looking at 2 communities and they're both pretty much the same, however, one is an Oakland County certified one-stop ready community, chances are they will probably go to your community to do their development. The same thing holds true with the Main Street Oakland County. 2 similar communities, one's a Main Street community, one isn't. Developers or businesses will more often than not go with the Main Street community. So those are just a couple of the great things about Oxford. I'm going to take another break here, and I'll see you in a few minutes. Thanks.
The American Legion. We're a powerful force for the nation. We believe strongly in supporting the children of America. Our youth programs include American Legion baseball, junior shooting sports, boys and girls state, the Oratorical Scholarship Program, support for scouting, and many others. We support and promote citizenship and integrity in America's future leaders. Go to legion.org to find out more about the American Legion's commitment of service to America.
Welcome back, everybody, to Daybreak. My name is Madonna Van Fossen, and I am still the Director for the Downtown Development Authority. Last night, Brooks Patterson, our county executive, gave his State of the County address, and I am so excited because he mentioned Oxford, specifically Oxford schools. I don't know if everybody remembers, however, last year from Main Street, Oakland County, Oxford Community Schools, their administration building won the best adaptive use of a building for their administration building located right downtown on Washington Street. But last night, let me just tell you what Brooks said. One of our China-related success stories is on the very northern reaches of Oakland County. Oxford Community Schools embraced my call for Mandarin language and culture instruction back in 2007, and they've taken it to the next level. Oxford School Superintendent Bill Skilling says that the Oxford Community Schools now has 11 sister schools in China, operates 1 international high school in Fushun, China, and will be opening a 2nd school in Peking. China is coming this fall. Oxford Schools also is exporting education to China virtually as well. Oxford School currently has more students learning Mandarin China language than culture in a fluency-based program than the rest of the school districts in Michigan combined. Its fifth core world language and culture program was recognized by the Hanban and the Asia Society as one of the 100 model programs in America. That kind of success deserves a round of applause. And Bill Skilling is in the audience tonight. Thank you, Bill. Bill was there last night. I wasn't able to attend, but when I heard that we got that mention again, I was very proud to be a part of Oxford. Everywhere Brooks Patterson goes, where he has an opportunity to talk about Oxford, he makes it a point to mention Oxford, and I would like to thank him for that because it really does help us. Oakland County has chosen us also to be a pilot program for their Wi-Fi that was just executed here at the end of last year. I want to clarify with that, though, because it's a new program and they're still working out all the bugs. I get a lot of calls about the Wi-Fi program. It basically extends up and down M24 for about a quarter mile to the north and a quarter mile to the south of Burdick Street. They're still working out the bugs. They're still trying to make it a little better. And there's a lot of things that can come between the current of the Wi-Fi signal going to your computer. So while it's not the best, it certainly is a step in the right direction. And Oxford was honored to be chosen as one of the pilot communities. We talked about the events a little bit, and the DDA is gone to the other organizations within the community to solicit their help in putting on the true community events. So this is taking place. It was very well received by Ron Davis, Oxford Parks and Rec, by Holly Bills from the Chamber, and Joe Young from the Village of Oxford. So I would like to invite anybody who is interested in getting involved with the community events, specifically the concerts in the park, Celebrate Oxford, the Scarecrow Festival, and the holiday celebration, which takes place at the end of the year for the Christmas holidays. We are having a meeting on Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, February 12th, in the DDA office at 11 o'clock. If you're involved with a nonprofit organization and you would like to get involved, we have a lot of opportunities for your organization to get exposure and possibly generate some revenue. In addition, the DDA is doing some things specifically geared towards helping the businesses. One of the things we like to do is continuously educate the businesses about new things that are coming, whether it's through social media or opportunities to get to attend educational seminars, resources. If they need help, we want to be there for them. So another thing the DDA is doing for our businesses specifically is we offer business seminars, and we always like to keep our businesses up to date on new technologies that are available or other resources that are available to them, educational opportunities. So on February 20th, which is a Wednesday, it will be Wednesday morning from 8 o'clock in the morning until 10 o'clock in the morning at the school administration building, we are holding our second in a series of 3 business seminars. I have Ron Campbell from Main Street, Oakland County, coming up to give his presentation about the ins and outs of displays, whether they're inside your store, outside your store. He gave this presentation a couple years ago. It was very well received. It was very informative, and a lot of the businesses who attended walked away with some great ideas. So we're excited about this. On March 20th, McKenna is going to give our business seminar, the final one, about the zoning ordinances, the changes that have occurred, the zoning ordinance dealing with signage, with outdoor seating. It's really exciting because the Planning Commission has done some great things to help encourage outdoor seating here in Oxford. So look for changes with that this coming springtime. 2 more things I want to talk about. I gave a shout out about the schools a minute ago. I'd like to talk about the Parks and Recreation here. Give a shout out to Ron Davis and everybody at the Parks and Recreation Department because they're doing a phenomenal job. And I just want to talk about for a minute all the parks that are here located around the Oxford region. We have Oakwood Lake Township Park, which is right off of Oakwood Road. We have Powell Lake Township Park, which is right there near the library, across by the library. We have Stony Lake Township Park, which is located north on Lapeer Road. We have the Pollyant Trail. We have Seymour Lake Township Park that also is home to the Splash Pad and Kids Kingdom. There is Scripter Park over on Broadway and Centennial Park located right downtown. So everybody take advantage of all of these parks. There's a lot to do there, summer, winter, all year round. I'd also like to give a shout out to the Chamber of Commerce now, Holly Bills, with the help of Patrick from Witches. They put together the Oxford Restaurant Week, and this is really exciting. This is going to happen on begin February 23rd and run through March 3rd. There are approximately 8 restaurants that are participating. They're going to offer special 3-course meals at discounted prices during this time, so people in and around the community can get a taste of what Oxford is like. We are also going to continue during Celebrate Oxford with our Taste of Oxford. So Oxford has about 16 places within the DDA district alone that you can come, sit down, and get something to eat. A cup of coffee, a muffin, or a full course meal. We've got a great mixture of eclectic retail shopping. We have many services that are available. I mentioned the medical services, the veterinarian services, the dental. We have so much here in our downtown. And it's really becoming a destination city, which is what was in the vision plan several years ago when we had this vision plan done. So I would like everybody out there in viewing land, if you haven't had an opportunity to come downtown lately, please do so. Stop by, walk into the shop, say hello to everybody, because I'll tell you right now, downtown Oxford, we may be small, but we're done right. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Madonna Van Fossen from the Oxford Downtown Development Authority.
President Roosevelt signed the Bill of Rights.
I've always appreciated the American Legion's
My gratitude to the American Legion.
Thank you all to the American Legion.
We have millions of veterans that are members of our organization. Thank you.
The American Legion, we serve America and its veterans. We pledge ourselves to our veterans, our youth, a strong national defense, and Americanism. These 4 pillars shape our work and what we do for America. There is power in our numbers. We're the largest organization of wartime veterans in the nation. We are 2.5 million members strong, men and women from every state in the nation and around the world. No other veterans organization wields this kind of power. We work relentlessly within our 4 pillars of service, and we succeed. The American Legion takes care of our fellow veterans and their families. We maintain close ties with Congress and the leaders in Washington, D.C. They respect us. They listen to us. We sponsor research and press for medical care and benefits for all veterans and active duty service members, whether they are members of the American Legion or not.
President Roosevelt signs G.I. Joe's Bill of Rights.
You've heard of the GI Bill of Rights, one of the most important pieces of social legislation of the 20th century. It was written and passed largely through the efforts of the American Legion. We were instrumental in the formation of what is now the Department of Veterans Affairs to make sure our veterans get the care and benefits they are promised and deserve. The young people of our nation are our future. They benefit from exceptional programs and generous scholarships that only the American Legion offers. We provide athletic programs like American Legion Junior Shooting Sports, Legion Baseball, and educational and civics programs like the Oratorical Scholarship Contest, and Boys State and Boys Nation.
As Supreme Court Justice Hugo Black stated, the quality of justice that Americans receive should not depend upon the amount of money they have.
We promote citizenship and an appreciation of government. We have all been directly involved in our nation's defense as wartime veterans. We know what policies, tools, and manpower our military needs to protect this great country. We fight to get these things done.
We're all very grateful to have the American Legion on point.
We take our case all the way to the top in Washington, D.C. to ensure that America is prepared for any threat. We are patriots through and through. Visit our website at legion.org or your nearest American Legion post today.